Hey everyone, T Brown Rebel, host and creator of the new Music and Artist Show, the show that showcases the talent that we have in our music world. And this live stream on Facebook tonight is with my good friend from Chicago, Reality. How you doing, brother?
I am doing great, man. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm really excited to get into some good stuff tonight.
I'm equally excited. We shared on the our little get together before, make sure everything was testing out right. That it was kind of a challenging day today, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was one of those days just trying to catch up and organize my life. Been falling behind on some stuff, and like I said, it's about as exciting as a Tuesday can get. It's just one of those days.
Yeah, I think things just kind of lined up for everybody. I
Hmm.
talked to a couple of friends too. How'd your day go? Man, it was a day today. So,
Yeah,
things just they do line up that way. So,
yeah.
reality, you are joining us from Chicago.
I am. Yes. Technically, I want to make this very, very clear because people from Chicago are very serious about people from Chicago. I'm from a suburb 10 minutes outside of Chicago. But when people that are not from here ask me where I'm from, I say Chicago, even though I'm from Berwyn, because they don't know what Berwyn is. But if somebody that I know catches me saying I'm from Chicago, they'll grill me because I'm not actually in the city. But yes, we could just say Chicago.
They shouldn't be so sensitive about that. I mean, if somebody
Oh,
lives in
dude.
Waukesha, Wisconsin, they say they're from Milwaukee, so it's
Dude,
all
I
good.
think I think it's a different story with Chicago, man. They will die by that, man. They're very, very serious about like, no, you're not from Chicago. Like, it's very serious. That's why I have to make it very clear. Like, for the people here, I'm not from Chicago. From the people anywhere outside of Illinois, I'm from Chicago.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's cool. So we are featuring, and our listeners of the podcast have already heard the intro music for Therapy on Thursday, and that's our
Yes,
featured song today.
yes.
And that song has a special meaning to you.
It does. Yeah. It's that song is such an interesting piece of work for me, even for myself, just because I legitimately did not plan on releasing that song. I write a lot of music that never sees the light of day, that never even gets recorded. I just make it for myself or because I thought of some lyrics, literally anything. Just there's a lot of music that never goes anywhere. And this song was supposed to be that. And it was just going to be like, just getting some thoughts out of my head. And when I showed one of my friends, one of my closest friends, I sent him the song, and I was like, what do you think? I expected him to say like, it's all right, I've heard you do better. But he FaceTimes me, and he's like, dude, that is one of the best songs that I've heard from you ever. And this guy goes back to high school with me. Like, I started making music with him way, way, way back when. And he tells me it's one of the greatest songs he's ever heard from me. And I'm like, wow, okay. So this means something. So I shared it on social media, and I tell people, I'm like, what do you guys think? Like, do you want me to drop this? And the response that I got, I have never experienced something like that. Like, messages from people I've never spoken to, like people that I don't even know sharing it. It was going crazy. So I was like, okay, I have to drop the song, and I dropped it, and it's been an experience so far. It's been very interesting to see the way that people perceive it. And my I showed my therapist, obviously, and she liked it because she said that I'm destigmatizing mental health and going to therapy, which that wasn't my intent. But I mean, if that's what it does, then I'm here for it.
Hmm. Hmm. Your video is really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you. It's so
You
hard to
you
make.
yeah, you produced it on your own. You choreographed it
I
all.
did. Yeah.
And you said that you actually did it on your phone.
I did. Yeah. I did it on this very cracked iPhone. But yeah, yeah. And actually, it's funny. I did it. This is exactly how I did it. I put this phone on this stand, and I like put a couple books up, and I like put it right there. That was the video. But I mean, a lot of people have liked it, and I think it's creative and fun. So yeah, did it on the phone.
Yeah, it caught my eye. I caught it on Instagram a week or two ago. Actually, I think the day that your song dropped,
I
I
think that
think
might have
you,
been the day,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you posted it. And where can people find Therapy on Thursday, and where can they find the video?
They can listen to the song on every streaming platform, Apple, Tidal, whatever you use, it's there. And the video that they can find it on YouTube is literally Reality, Realxty, Therapy on Thursdays. It'll be right there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I get a lot of people checking out a lot of music from the artists that have been on our show, and if they miss it, they get back to me and say, "Hey, where can I find it?" Well, you can listen to the show again, or
There you go. There you
there you
go.
go. Um, and you recorded Therapy on Thursday in your studio,
I did. Yes.
and was it in between? You're a producer too. What
I am. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can get into that a little bit, reality.
Yeah, so I mean my job is to make music for other people. So I am an engineer and a producer full time. So I make beats for other people. I have people here in my studio come and record, and then I'll mix and master their stuff here. Or I'll have people from all over the world send me their music so that I can work on it and send it back. Um, but this song, it's really interesting. Again, Therapy on Thursday, because I had been bouncing back and forth with like the same couple songs for like 2 to 3 months, like not finishing them, making some edits, and just overthinking everything. This song probably took me like 2 hours, and it was like as done as anything will be done. And it was a fast process like that. And then after that, I just went about my day and worked on music for other people. And it wasn't until that night that I started to get the response that it was getting. But yeah, so uh my job is to make music for other people, which I love it. I love working on other music, but like everything, sometimes even your passion does become work.
Hmm.
So it's just kind of finding a balance to work on other people's music, but also find time to work on my own, because at the end of the day, my goal is to be my own artist and not to be engineering and producing for other people for the rest of my life.
Right? Is it all hip hop artists that you produce for?
Oh, no, no, no. I my roots are in hip hop, so I feel like
Hmm.
that's my forte. But I mean, I've done like pop. I'm doing a lot of rock stuff right now. I've done believe it or not, I do not even listen to this, but country. I've worked on country music before. I don't even listen to country. I've done country, like folk, R&B, anything. Really,
Hmm.
really anything.
Do you help artists write a little bit?
I do, yeah. It depends on the artist and the circumstance, because there are some artists that I work with that I understand. Okay, this person, like I know my spot, I know my place. Like I need to just stay in my place, do my work, and then send it back to them. But then there are other artists that I build a little bit more of a connection with, and they're a little
Hmm.
bit more open. They're like, hey, no, I want to hear what you can do to this, or like if whatever, if you want to put that there, or whatever. I really do help them develop their music. And one of my favorite things to do with the artists that I work with in person is to produce like custom beats for them. So it's
Yeah.
basically I make their whole entire song. They come in with lyrics and walk out with a finished song. So I do help out with artist development, and helping them find their sound, find their style, and that brings me a lot of happiness.
Yeah. Um, the industry has changed a lot over
Yeah.
the years, and we talked a little bit about how difficult it is to find band members.
Yeah.
And now, here you are, you create that whole sound in your studio.
Mhm.
Yeah. So is you're a hip hop artist. You produce other music.
Mhm.
Who are your music influences?
Oh man. I have to start off by saying Eminem, just because I still remember being in like fourth grade and listening to an Eminem song for the first time, and I was like, what the hell is that? I was like, I was blown away. So I would not be who I am today without the influence of Eminem. His music isn't my favorite nowadays. I'm still gonna rock with anything and everything that he does because that will forever be my guy. But I mean, nowadays I listen to a lot of different music. My favorite genre is probably jazz, to be completely honest. I love jazz music, just because it astounds me that this is all played like live. Like people play jazz live, and the instrumentation and everything ridiculous. I can't believe it's real. So I love jazz. And Let's see. I really like Russ. I don't know if you know who Russ is, but he's like a hip hop artist, and he is one of the most well-known independent artists. So he's paving the way for a lot of other independent artists. I really like what he's doing. But yeah, man, I try to take as many influences as I can from as many different genres. You know, punk rock, alternative, indie pop, indie rock, R&B, jazz. You know, even some classical music. Just anything that I can.
When I listen to Therapy on Thursday, you've got, it's not this hard hitting hip hop song. It's got a little pop flavor to it. It's got a little,
Mhm.
maybe even a little. Does it have a little jazzy tone to
It
it?
does. Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. Sure. Yeah, and I don't see because this song specifically is unlike anything I've ever made before. Like the because I made the beat too. Like I use the gospel sample. I use like
Hmm.
organs and keys and like old drums, and that's like me treading new waters, because a lot of my older stuff is that hard hitting, like in your face hip hop, because my thought process going into making music before the pandemic was, how am I going to perform this at a show?
Yeah.
How am I going to get people hyped up? And my whole thing was like jumping in the crowd and having them sing my lyrics back to me and really like immersing the people in the experience. So that's how I always went into creating music. So a lot of my stuff is that like really hard hitting rap, but the pandemic kind of taught me to like, take a step back, chill a little bit more, and make some chiller, more like jazzy music, and that you can kind of, it's not so aggressive.
Right. Right. At what point did you know you were going to do this? Be a musician.
I've kind of always known. I've always there wasn't. I mean, I guess in high school when I was a senior, I sat down with my really good friend Jakari. Still make music to him today. He's the one that I started making music with back in the sophomore year, and he was the one that told me that the song was insane, the best thing he's heard from me. So senior year of our high school career, we decided like, okay, let's do this. And I guess that was the moment that was when I became reality, and that's when I chose the name. But I had already been making music for years before that. So I've just kind of always known music has always been a part of my life. Even when I was a kid, I always used to say I wanted to be an artist. And back then, I thought that all an artist is like a painter. So I wanted to be like like a painter, but I've kind of just always known I've wanted to make art for my life.
That's cool. Um, if you could go back and give advice to that sophomore in high school, what would that be?
Dude, you're gonna make me cry, man. um, Man, that young boy. Well, I would tell him to just keep going, man. Just keep going, because I didn't understand back then what I was getting myself into, what kind of life was chosen for me. Because I don't think I chose the music life, the being an artist life. I don't think I chose it. I think it was the life that was meant for me, and I really do think that this was the life that I was chosen to live. And if I could tell him, I'd be like, man, just keep going. Just keep going, and,
Mhm.
and don't stop. Don't look at anybody else. Don't lose focus. Just stay in your lane on your path, and don't quit no matter what.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome advice for anybody.
Yeah. No, and it's very universal, and I don't know. Yeah, that's what I would tell him is just keep going, man. You're just be patient.
Yeah. Um, you know, Therapy on Thursday is an awesome song.
Thank you.
I'm not going to try to bait you on this one. But what is the favorite song that you've ever written that you like the most?
From like my own song?
Yes.
Oh man, that's a question that has so many different layers because I have different favorite songs for different reasons. I think the most special song that I've ever made and released is my song Home Sweet Home from my debut project Diamond Sessions that I dropped back in April. That song I can't I can't listen to it without getting emotional and like and
Hmm.
tearing up because it's a letter it's a song that's essentially a love letter to my family. And at the time that I wrote it, there was a lot of changes going on in my life, and all of the change that was happening kind of helped center me and made me realize all I have is my family and myself. That's
Hmm.
all I have. And that song came from those emotions and those hard times. And so that has to be one of my favorite songs just because of how special it is for me. Um, but then there's Diamond Freestyle where it's basically 11 years in 3 minutes. It
Yeah.
tells my entire story of when I started to where I am. And then I even have some of my favorite songs that I haven't even released yet. And they're just so much fun that I listen to it and I let my hair down and I mosh a little. It's so much fun, but I don't know. I don't know if I have like one favorite song of mine of all time. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a hard question.
It's tough, yeah.
Maybe it just wasn't bait. Maybe it was just like, here's a really hard question. So
Yeah, no, that's definitely a harder question than it is bait, but I don't know. I kind of love anything that I release just for its own reasons. Like Therapy on Thursdays. I love it because it it honestly is like that's how I talk to my therapist. And it was just me letting things out, and so many people were telling me that that was their favorite song of
right.
mine because of how it just sounded so conversational and so smooth.
Yeah.
But I still have more music releasing that's completely different from that. So I don't know, man.
Hmm.
It's a whole thing.
How often do you write?
I wish I could tell you, but it's just kind of sporadic.
Okay.
Sometimes I try like in December when I was writing my project, I forced myself to write at least one verse every day, at
Yep.
least a verse. Just to, kind of tighten up my penmanship and my writing. Um, when I made Therapy on Thursday, I think I think I actually made it 2 weeks ago from today, if I'm not mistaken. But that week I must have made like 5 songs, which is like the most that I've made in months. And then this week I haven't made anything. So it really just kind of happens when the stars align, man, when it's like the perfect moment and when I got something to say.
Yeah, it must be hard too, with producing other people's music
Yeah.
and working. I mean, every time I've talked to you or we've corresponded in the last week, you're working.
Always.
So
Always.
how many hours do you put in a day?
It depends, man. It depends how much I have to do. Sometimes, early on, because I've just been doing this full time for almost 3 months now. So I quit my job in late May. So it's almost been 3 months. But when I was first doing this full time, I was putting in my 6 to 8 hours
Yeah.
every day. Like I was in here 8 hours. But then I kind of started to realize I'm like, man, I quit my job so that I could have more time to do what I want. And I feel like I'm a slave to my own job. So it really depends. I come in here and sometimes I'll work 3 to 4 hours. Sometimes I'll work 2 hours, but I make what I
Hmm.
would have made in my job in 3 days.
Right.
So it kind of depends. I pace myself with the amount of work that I do so that I'm not overworking myself, but I'm also not slacking off. So I don't know. Today I put in maybe 5 6 hours probably.
Yeah, yeah. It's it's tough. I mean,
It is.
because you put in your 5 hours, but then you've got all this creative stuff that you still have to do. I mean,
Yeah.
that was the hard 5 hours, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I
I mean,
and
yeah.
I don't mean the hard, yeah, it's hard 5 hours, but then you got another 5 hours of just going through the creative process.
Yeah.
It can't be
That's the
easy.
work aspect of it. That was the work
Hmm.
5 hours, because when I work on my own music, I work weird hours. Like, sometimes I'll come in at 11 o'clock at night to
Sure.
work on my own music and get out of here at like 2. Sometimes I'll be in here at like 9 o'clock with my coffee, like making music for myself. And it's so it really is kind of like when I feel like it's time for me to prioritize my own music. But then again, this is my job, so I can't just work on my own music when there is so many people like waiting on me to get them their stuff.
Right. Do you have times that you're most creative, or you get your best work done?
Um, I don't know. I feel like I write the best music when I'm doing something else, like not just like pacing around my studio, but like when
Hmm.
I'm taking my dog for a walk or when I'm driving. I wrote Therapy on Thursday when I was driving. I was on my way actually to get a COVID test, not because I was sick, but I get them every week just to be safe. But I was on my way there. So I wrote it on the drive there. I wrote it in line to get it. And then I wrote it on my way back. And when I parked my car, that's all I had for the song. I'm like, okay, that's the song. So I write my best when I'm doing something that's not just sitting or like pacing back and forth. But when I'm most creative, I almost want to say like at night, but sometimes I'll have those bursts of energy at like because I made Therapy on Thursdays in the morning, so I made that like around like 11 or 12, and I was done by like 2 or 3. So
Hmm.
it really depends, man. I don't know. It's very sporadic.
Yeah. You play gigs.
Yes, I do, and I love them, and I miss them very dearly.
Yeah. What's your favorite gig so far?
Oof, you know what? Let me go show you something. Give me one second.
Sure. This is great. I love this. And I can't wait to ask him what that neon is.
I'm gonna tell you this story, man. This right here.
Oh,
This is supposed to be a rolling tray where you roll perfectly legal things, but I use it as like a frame, as almost like a trophy. So
sure.
so this was January 17th, 2020, literally weeks before the
Right.
world shut down. But this was the first headlining performance that I ever did. I played a lot of shows, but this was the first time that like, okay, people are here to see me, and I'm the
Yeah.
guy at the end of the night.
Yeah.
And this night, it changed my life because I think I showed myself what I was capable of. This was one of the first shows where I was given physical tickets to sell because usually you get them
Hmm.
online or
Yep.
you get them at the door. But here they gave me a certain amount of tickets and they're like, okay, sell them. I sold out of those. And then I went to go get some more and I sold out of those too. So I double sold out this show. And then the night of the show, there was this horrible blizzard. Mind you, it's the middle of winter in Chicago. It's disgusting. It's brutal. It's everything's dead. You're miserable. It sucks. And there was a nasty snowstorm that day. So a lot of people didn't end up showing up. But if you can see, like, I'm trying to show you, like, it's all the way, you can't really see, but all the way back here, this is the wall, and it's
Sure.
filled with people to the back. And they were all like, they were there to see me. There's people
Yeah.
from other from there was openers and stuff, so they were there to see them as well. But most of these are my people, and I can tell you who they are. And that has to be the greatest show that I've put on thus far. And it was, oh man, it was the experience of a lifetime, man. It was
It looks like it
incredible.
was a hell of a party.
Dude, it was crazy. I have no idea how I survived it because I was anyone who has ever seen me, I told you before we went on that my shows are experiences. So the way that I see live performances is you go out and you see somebody live, and if you're lucky, as a viewer, a partaker of the crowd, if you're lucky, you'll leave out of there and you'll remember one artist or one
Hmm.
band, and you'll be
Right.
like, yo, they were really good. Like, I want to know who that is. I want to listen to their music. And I strive to be that for every show that I perform at. And it's usually the case. I'm not saying others are not that, but I'm saying like if you see me, you're going to remember me and you're going to understand why this show is different from any other shows that you might see. And this show, man, like there was this huge projector behind me and it had my name and there was like falling diamonds and oh man, it was awesome, man. It was, yeah, crazy.
That looks like a party that I'd like to be at.
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely.
the rebel part of T Brown Rebel has been well earned, and
Okay.
most of it has been party related. So,
Really?
yeah, yeah, I
Okay.
gotta. We have to stay in touch. I would
Absolutely.
love to see one of your gigs.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, you mentioned that it might be a little bit down the road.
Yeah, yeah. So as of right now, I've been offered to do a couple shows, but I've turned them down just because,
Hmm.
first and foremost, because when I was at the show over the weekend, I went to a show to support one of my friends over the weekend, and I still had to wear the mask. I was
Yeah,
still trying to like,
yeah,
I was like trying to stay away from, it's like I don't want that. I don't want to be worried about if somebody gets sick at one of my shows and then they gave that to somebody else who really got, as I don't even like want that to be on the table.
right,
And I love to jump in the crowd and mosh with everybody and put my microphone in their face so they can sing my words, and like I get really immersed into it, and I want to be able to do that again.
right.
Because if this is how people remember me, if this was the last impression that they had on me, the next one that they have of me has to be even better than that.
Yeah, that's tough
So
too, isn't it?
yeah, yeah,
As a performer, that is
yeah.
tough to live up to that.
But you know what? I'm not even nervous about that because
Mhm.
I know that I can put on a better show now because I have so much more music and I have a year and a half more of experience and life under my belt, which it doesn't seem like a
Mhm.
lot, but after the year and a half that we've had, like I've changed dramatically as a person. So that's why I'm waiting until the next show that I put on is going to be when things calm down a little bit, and it's gonna be my show. It's gonna be like a
Yeah.
show that I curated, that I
Yeah.
booked the place. That it's gonna be my show.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't really want to open up for somebody else right now when this was the last impression that I had.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been to shows of different artists that I've seen many times, and there's been a few that have been able to pull it off where they're just pouring their guts out
Yeah,
every live performance. And it may not, they may say, "Man, we suck tonight," but
yeah.
when they pour their guts out,
Yeah.
that that makes the show, right? I mean, that's what you're describing to us.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, and this show in particular was very special because this was the first show that my mom got to go see.
Oh, cool.
And it was very special. And in my song Diamond Freestyle, I have a lyric that says, um, what did I say? I remember the first time my mom caught a show. Oh, if you know me, you know that this is my heart and soul. I shed a tear when my mom first caught a show. The lights shining, the diamonds were falling from the sky. Before everything changed, I was a different guy. And this, like, I showed.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. It's a lyric that like really, it means something to me because it takes me back to this very
Yeah.
moment. And in that show, like I said, on the big projector, like very early on in the show, like after my first or second song, I pulled up a video of when I was 11 or 12 years old on YouTube rapping Eminem songs, and that is astounding to me because it was almost 10 years to the date of this show. It was almost exactly 10 years. But it just kind of went to show that like I was showing interest in this before I even knew that like this was what my life was gonna be.
Mhm.
And yeah, man, I cried a little bit during that show because like I said, my mom was there, all my people, my best friends, like my best friends were there, my family was there, my cousins, and they were all there, and it was I left everything on that stage, and even when I don't perform or when I'm not headlining, I still put everything that I have and I leave it on the stage because that's when I feel like I'm able to be my most true and authentic self is when
Yeah.
I'm up there.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. I can tell just talking to you that the passion is there,
Oh,
and that
yes.
is why I wanna see a show.
Oh, dude, man, I'll make sure to get you some tickets when the next reality show is gonna be. I don't know when, but it's gonna happen, and it's gonna be something that everybody in attendance will remember.
Can you get me, like, a little backstage pass too?
Yes, dude, of course, man. I'll hook you up with a T-shirt too, cause I you can see right here, like I was wearing a reality T-shirt, and then
Yeah,
my homie, where is he? Where is right? I'm opposite right here.
yeah.
He's holding up a reality T-shirt too. Yeah, he's holding it up. So I was selling T-shirts at that show too. Man, I'll hook you up. I'll give you a little care package.
That's awesome. That's too awesome. So,
Absolutely.
reality, we change things up about this time in the show, and we do something a little bit fun, and maybe we can even have some fun with it later down the road on an Instagram live. Um, it's called the 30-second rapid fire questions, and I
Let's
just
go.
ask you random questions. You answer them, just first thing that comes to mind, and then we'll see if there's anything there that when they come out randomly, they're real. So,
Yeah, that's a fact. Okay, let's go. I'm ready for it.
all right, what is your favorite song of all time?
Boulevard of Broken Dreams, even though it's not. That's just the first song I thought of.
Who's your favorite music artist?
Code of the Friend.
What's your favorite color?
Black.
What's your favorite Eminem song?
Legacy.
What is your favorite season? Winter, spring, summer, or fall?
Fall, by far.
What's your favorite food?
Tacos.
What is your favorite drink?
Old fashioned, even though I'm not a fan.
Wisconsin drinks more Korbel brandy than rest of the world combined.
What?
Yeah, yeah,
Just the
yeah,
one part in Wisconsin?
yeah. All of Wisconsin drinks more Korbel brandy than the rest of the world combined. Yeah,
That's a little
um,
concerning.
it is a little concerning. So, but we don't judge each other up in this
Yeah,
region.
we
So,
shouldn't. Yeah, we definitely should not.
best movie you've seen?
8 Mile. Nah, no, definitely not. Nacho Libre.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's my dude. I can quote. I have a Nacho Libre painting right up there, man. That's my movie. Not 8 Mile. Nacho
I like it
Libre.
when they're talking about why they lose, and he says, "We lose because you're fat." He says.
He's like, I believe in science. That's my movie, man. Don't get me started on these quotes.
What show are you binge watching right now?
Um, Bob's Burgers.
What are your three favorite movie characters of all time?
Shrek, Nacho, Cat in the Hat.
What is that neon sign behind you?
So that's actually it's a little bit broken, but it used to say DMND, but the ND fell off. But it was a custom gift that I got from my partner for Christmas. She made it and gave it to me, and it's like it was a centerpiece of the studio for a while. But it got a little bit hot in here, so like some of the glue started falling off. But yeah, it's the Diamond Studios diamond.
What are you doing right after recording this live stream?
Probably recording some music.
Cool. Hey, you did really good.
Thanks, man. Some of those answers I'm not rocking with, but those were the first things that came to my mind.
I do have to admit, you had the most fun doing this.
Yeah, it was fun,
So
man. It was fun. I like being pushed on my toes, man. It was fun.
I've got more fun questions if we do the
Okay.
3 minute on Instagram. So
I'm down for that,
yeah,
man. That
cool,
sounds
cool.
cool.
What's the vision you have for yourself and your career?
Um, at the end of the day, success to me is being able to see myself in the mirror and being happy and proud of what I see. So if that means being a famous artist that tours the entire world, then that's what it is. If it means that I'm more of a local artist that is still able to do what I love for a living, then that's what it is. But my vision is to take this music as far as I possibly can and to
Hmm.
share it with as many people and to share just to share my story with as many people as I possibly can. And if it reaches the global scale, then that's perfect. But even just a couple people that I interact with here and that makes an impact on them, that's good for me. So
You're
just that.
you're a very caring person.
Thank you, man. I really try to. I try to move with kindness and gratitude and like
Mhm.
genuine appreciation, because that's what I've realized. When you like, what you give is what you get,
Mhm.
and sometimes the most bitter people that I have come across, like, they just don't really have anything good to give to the world, or they're just mad, or they're resentful. And I mean, I understand, everybody lives however they live, but that's just not how I live.
Right.
I live trying to give as much of myself as I can, and I don't expect anything in return. And I feel like that's why I receive the blessings that I do, is that I give them because I want to give them, not because I feel like I
Sure.
should.
Sure. No, that's really cool. Is there anyone? This is going to go out on podcast. We've got the live stream. We've had a couple of people hang with us the
Cool.
whole time.
Nice.
Reality. So,
Nice.
is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to?
Oh man, I want to give a shout out to my mom, to my
Mhm.
dad. I thank the universe every single day that I still have them, and that they're so supportive. They don't always understand, but they support, and that's enough for me. Um, to my partner, she's the best support system that I have. And shout out to all anybody I can't see who's watching, but like anybody who has watched, anybody who is watching, who's going to listen. I want to thank them, for caring enough about anything that I have to say, to take time out of their lives to listen to me and you talk, which is
Mhm.
pretty cool. We
Yeah.
live on a floating rock in space, and out of anything they could be doing in the world in their lives, they're choosing to listen to us. And that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. Tell us one more time where we can find therapy on Thursday.
Therapy on Thursdays, you can find it on every streaming platform: Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, YouTube, Google, anything, as Reality, Realxty, Therapy on Thursdays.
And where all can we find you?
All my social media is Official Reality, official, Realxty, officialreality.com. You can find me as everything and everywhere, Official Reality. I'm not sure what happened here. I can't see anything anymore. I just see myself. I wonder if this is still live.
I hit the wrong button.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, because for a second I was just seeing myself. I'm like, is the interview over?
Hey, yeah, yeah. Well, when you go live, you do get
Technical
some you
difficulties.
get technical
It's
difficulties.
all good,
So,
man. It's all good.
you were just in the middle of your Instagram live when I cut out for a minute. I you know what? I could even tell a story. Oh yeah, I got unplugged here for a minute. So,
Yeah,
but no, it was an operator error. So with the mouse.
it's all good. It's all good, man.
So
We
yeah.
don't judge over here.
But it was a quick comeback, though, I think.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
I just got a text from someone that they're like, "Where did he go?" Wait, are we still live, or like, is it done?
Yeah, it's too funny. We are still live.
Oh,
So,
okay, cool.
yeah, yeah, yep, yep, yep. So
Okay,
anyway,
cool.
yeah. So you were going through on Instagram,
Yeah,
official reality.
every
Yeah.
social media platform is Official Realxty.
Oh man, that's too cool. Too cool. I think that everybody who listens to this, check out Reality on his social media, check out his music. This guy is a real person. And
Thank you.
in reality, I'm so glad. Thank you for reaching out to me, because one of the things that I love about this show is meeting awesome people like you.
Thank you,
So
man. Hey,
yeah.
I want to show you some love, man. Like I told you in the message, that like I appreciate you for doing this, because like independent artists, we need things like this. Like you give us a platform to be able to talk about ourselves, you know, and to like really give us a platform to show other people what we believe in. So thank you, man. Thank you for doing this show and for doing what you do. Like you really don't have to, but you still do. And I
Yeah.
think that's pretty cool, man. So thank you for that.
I love it. I love it. And thank you, Reality. And for everyone that is listening to the podcast version of this, enjoy therapy on Thursdays. And for everyone who joined us on the live stream, thanks so much. You're showing a lot of support to Reality, and he deserves it. So,
Awesome. Thank you.
the way we end everything, enjoy the music, everybody.